Look who's living rent-free in your ex's head. You, magnificent, evolved, untouchable soul. Welcome back. Or should I say, welcome to the moment where everything they thought they knew about you just shattered into 1,000 pieces they'll never put back together. Because if you're still here, still watching, still breathing that different air, then you already know what I'm about to confirm. You're not the same person who begged for closure. You're not the version who cried into pillows at 3 a.m. wondering what you did wrong. You're not even adjacent to the human they thought they broke. You are something they cannot categorize, cannot diminish, cannot touch anymore. And that scares them more than anything they'll ever admit out loud. Let's talk about what's really happening right now, in this exact moment, while you're watching this. Your ex is somewhere, could be scrolling, could be talking to mutual friends, could be staring at their ceiling in the dark, and they're saying it. Those words. Something's different about them. Not angry, not relieved, different. That word sits in their throat like glass because what they really mean is, something's different, and I can feel it from here, and I don't know how to process the fact that they evolved past me without even looking back. You know what that is? That's the sound of someone realizing they fumbled the rarest thing they'll ever touch. That's the echo of regret wrapped in confusion, wrapped in denial, wrapped in the suffocating realization that you didn't just move on, you moved up. And they're still stuck on the level where they left you, wondering how you made it to the penthouse while they're still riding the elevator down. Here's what they won't tell anyone, but you already know it in your bones. For weeks, maybe months after the breakup, they watched. They watched like it was their full-time job. Every story you posted, every picture, every caption, every song you shared, they analyzed it like archaeologists trying to find evidence of your collapse. They wanted proof. They needed proof that leaving you, or pushing you away, or whatever coward move they pulled, that it destroyed you. Because if you were destroyed, then their choice was validated. If you were suffering, then they could sleep at night thinking, see, I mattered. I was important. They can't function without me. But that's not what happened, is it? No. You went silent. Not the loud, dramatic, post-every-feeling kind of silent. The dangerous kind. The kind where you stopped performing your healing for an audience and actually started doing the work in the shadows where transformation is born. You stopped posting sad lyrics. You stopped subliminal messages. You stopped checking if they viewed your content. And that silence, that unbothered energy, it sent them into a spiral they're still falling through. Because silence to an ex who expected you to crumble is psychological warfare. It's a mirror held up to their own emptiness. It's the absence of the chaos they thought they'd leave behind. And when they heard nothing, saw nothing, felt nothing coming from your direction, their brain did what every dumper's brain does when the breakup doesn't go according to script. It started creating stories. Are they okay? Did they find someone better? Are they over me already? Did I even matter? And those questions, those intrusive little parasites, they don't have answers because you're not giving them any. You became a mystery they can no longer solve because you changed the locks and they don't even know what door to knock on anymore. Now let's get into the details they're noticing, the ones they're whispering about in conversations you're not part of but somehow still dominate. First, your energy. It's not the same. It doesn't have that desperate frequency anymore, that pick me, choose me, love me vibration that used to leak through everything you did. You used to care so much about their opinion, their approval, their attention. You shaped yourself around their needs, dimmed your light to make their insecurities comfortable, sacrificed your peace to keep them from feeling threatened. But now your energy has a weight to it, a gravity, a presence that doesn't ask for permission or validation. You walk into rooms differently. You speak with a certainty that wasn't there before. Your laugh sounds genuine, not performative. Your confidence isn't loud or arrogant, it's just there, solid, unshakable, rooted in something they can't touch because it's not external anymore, it's internal. it's yours. And they can feel it even from a distance, even through the digital void, even when they're trying to convince themselves they don't care. Second, your appearance. Oh, this one hits them different. Not because you got a haircut or lost weight or changed your style, though maybe you did. It's because you look like you belong to yourself now. There's no sadness in your eyes in the pictures they stalk at 2 a.m. No tension in your smile. No weight on your shoulders. You look free, lighter, more alive. And that visual evidence that you're thriving without them, it's a dagger they twist in their own chest every time they look. Because when you were together, maybe they got comfortable. Maybe they stopped trying. Maybe they took you for granted because they thought you'd always be there, always be the same, always be waiting. But you're not the same. You glowed up, but not for anyone. Not for revenge, not for validation. You did it because you finally had the space to pour into yourself the energy you used to waste on someone who couldn't even see your value when it was standing right in front of them holding their hand. Third, your life. The one they thought would fall apart without them. The one they maybe even hoped would struggle a little so they could feel significant. But instead, your life looks full. You're doing things, going places, meeting people, building something. They see the evidence, the fragments that slip through social media or mutual friends, and it doesn't add up to the narrative they created. You were supposed to be stuck. You were supposed to still be hung up. You were supposed to prove that what you had was irreplaceable. But your life said, watch this, and then proceeded to become more interesting, more vibrant, more complete without them in it. And that's not bitterness. That's not shade. That's just truth. You stopped waiting for someone to complete you and realized you were never incomplete. You were just distracted. And now that the distraction is gone, they're watching you build an empire on the foundation of the lesson they taught you. That lesson? You don't need anyone who makes you question your worth. Let's go deeper, because this is where it gets dangerous for them. You know what really happened? You stopped being the person they could predict. When you were together, they knew your patterns. They knew your triggers. They knew how to get a reaction, how to make you chase, how to pull you back in with breadcrumbs whenever they felt you slipping away. You were readable, controllable, not in an evil way necessarily, but in the way that people get comfortable in relationships where one person loves harder than the other. But you're not that person anymore. You're not reacting. You're not chasing. You're not even angry, and that might be the most unsettling part for them. Anger they could understand. Anger means you still care. Anger means they still have power. But indifference, growth, peace, that's a language they don't speak. That's a level they can't access. And watching you operate on that frequency while they're still stuck in the same cycles, the same patterns, the same shallow connections, it's exposing something they don't want to face. That maybe they're the one who's stuck. Maybe they're the one who didn't grow. Maybe they're the one who lost something irreplaceable and didn't realize it until it was too late. Your ex is talking about you. But here's the twist they won't admit. They're not talking about you. They're talking about the gap you left, the space where you used to be that nothing and no one has been able to fill. They tried. Oh, they tried. Maybe they jumped into something new real quick, a rebound to prove they're fine, they're over it, they're thriving too. But it's not the same, is it? Because that person isn't you. That connection is surface. That energy is borrowed. They're going through motions, checking boxes, performing happiness, but there's an emptiness they can't shake. And every time they catch a glimpse of you, your energy, your glow, your growth, it highlights everything they're missing. Not you specifically, but the version of themselves they were when they had you. The version that had someone who genuinely cared, someone who was loyal, someone who saw the best in them even when they didn't deserve it, someone who stayed when they should have left a long time ago. They didn't lose you. They lost the mirror that reflected the best parts of themselves, and now all they see is the cracks. Here's something they're realizing slowly, painfully. In moments of clarity, they immediately try to suppress. You weren't the problem. You were never the problem. The problem was them. Their insecurity, their immaturity, their inability to appreciate what they had until it was gone. Maybe they blamed you for things. Maybe they made you feel like you weren't enough. Maybe they pointed out flaws, criticized your efforts, made you question yourself. But now, watching you thrive, watching you glow, watching you exist so peacefully without them, the narrative is crumbling. If you were really the problem, you wouldn't be doing better now. If you were really too much or not enough, or whatever label they stamped on you to justify their exit, then your life would reflect that. But it doesn't. Your life reflects freedom, growth, alignment, and that's destroying every excuse they built to protect their ego. They're starting to see the truth, even if they'll never say it out loud, that they let go of someone rare, someone real, someone who would have stayed through anything if they just met you halfway. Let's talk about what's happening in their inner world right now, the thoughts they're having in private when no one's watching. They're comparing. Oh, they're comparing everything. The way you used to text versus how they text now. The effort you put into dates versus the effort they receive now. The way you listened, remembered little things, showed up, versus what they're experiencing with whoever came after. And every comparison is a loss. Every single one. Because you set a standard they didn't recognize until it was gone, and now they're stuck in situations that feel hollow by comparison. They might even be in a relationship right now, posting couple pictures, saying the right things, but there's a haunting. You're the ghost in every conversation that doesn't hit the same. You're the shadow in every moment that feels forced. You're the standard they're measuring everything against, and everything is falling short. And that realization, that slow burning acknowledgement that they traded gold for bronze, it's eating them alive from the inside out. They're also noticing something about themselves that makes them uncomfortable. They're still talking about you, still bringing you up, still checking on you, still wondering. And that behavior, that inability to fully let go, it's revealing something they don't want to admit. That maybe they didn't win the breakup. Maybe walking away wasn't the power move they thought it was. Maybe they made a mistake. But here's the beautiful, brutal truth. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they realize it now. It doesn't matter if they have regrets. It doesn't matter if they see your value in hindsight. Because you're not the same person anymore. The version of you that would have taken them back, that would have given third and fourth and fifth chances, that version died in the aftermath of what they put you through. The person you are now has standards, boundaries, self-respect. And even if they came back tomorrow with apologies and promises and changed behavior, you know something they're just starting to suspect. You outgrew them. Not in a petty way, not in a revenge way, in the most natural, inevitable way possible. You evolved past the level where they exist. Now here's where it gets really interesting. They're watching you from afar, and they're seeing something that's messing with their head. You're genuinely happy, not fake happy. Not revenge happy, not look at me thriving to make my ex jealous happy. Actually, genuinely, peacefully happy. You're laughing with people who appreciate you. You're pursuing goals that excite you. You're creating a life that reflects your values. You're healing in ways that are visible even through a screen. And that happiness, that authentic joy, it's a reflection of something they need to face. You don't need them to be whole. You never did. You just thought you did because they made you believe your worth was tied to their presence. But now you know better. Now you've tasted freedom. Now you've experienced what it's like to prioritize yourself. And there's no going back from that. There's no unseeing what you've seen. No unbecoming who you've become. You crossed a threshold they can observe but never touch. And it's driving them crazy. Because they're realizing they're on the outside, looking in at a life they could have been part of, if they just knew how to appreciate it. Let's address the elephant in the room. Some of you watching this, you're wondering if they'll reach out, if they'll acknowledge what they're seeing. if they'll admit they were wrong. And here's what you need to hear. Maybe they will. Maybe one night they'll send that text that "I miss you," or "I've been thinking about you," or "Can we talk?" And when that message comes, and it might, you need to remember something crucial. They're not reaching out because they changed. They're reaching out because you did. They're not coming back because they suddenly grew or healed or figured things out. They're coming back because they see the glow and they want access to it again. They want to bathe in the light you built without them. They want to benefit from the growth they had no part in. They want the version of you that exists now, but they don't understand that this version exists because they left. Your transformation required their absence. Your evolution needed the space they created when they walked away. And if they come back, if they try to slip back into your life, you have to ask yourself one question. Do I want someone who only values me when I'm glowing? Or do I want someone who waters me even when I'm still a seed? Here's what they're really saying when they say something's different about them. They're saying, I don't recognize the power I used to have over them. They're saying, I can't read them anymore, and it's uncomfortable. They're saying, they moved on for real, and I'm not ready to accept that. They're saying, I underestimated who they'd become without me, and now I'm paying the price in regret. But let's be clear about something. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Their regret is not your burden. Their realization that they lost something valuable is not your cue to go back and make them feel better about their choices. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them a second chance. You don't owe them access to the version of yourself they couldn't appreciate when they had it. You owe yourself protection. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself the commitment to never downgrade back to a situation you outgrew just because someone finally noticed your worth. Let me tell you what's really different about you, the thing they can feel but can't articulate. You have a new relationship with yourself. That's the shift. That's the change they're sensing. You're not looking outside yourself for validation anymore. You're not seeking approval from people who can't see your value. You're not dimming your light to make others comfortable. You're not explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stopped performing. You stopped proving. You stopped people-pleasing your way through life, hoping someone would finally choose you. Instead, you chose yourself. And that choice, that singular decision to prioritize your own peace over other people's comfort, it changed everything. It changed your energy. It changed your standards. It changed what you tolerate and what you walk away from. It changed how you show up in the world. And your ex can feel that change like a shift in atmospheric pressure. They can sense it even without direct contact, because energy doesn't lie, and yours is screaming, I'm good without you, so loud it's keeping them up at night. They're also noticing something else that's bothering them. You're not checking for them anymore. You're not watching their stories. You're not liking their posts. You're not asking mutual friends about them. You're not keeping tabs. And that absence of attention, that complete withdrawal of your energy from their orbit, it's creating a void they can't fill. Because here's the thing about people who take you for granted. They get comfortable with your presence even after they've pushed you away. They expect you to always be there in the background, watching, caring, hoping. Your attention, even when they didn't want your love, was still feeding their ego. But you cut that off. You went full no contact, not just physically but energetically. You stopped giving them the satisfaction of knowing they still affect you. And that withdrawal, that complete removal of yourself from their sphere, it's more powerful than anything you could have said. It's a statement louder than words. It says, you're not even important enough to hate. You're just irrelevant now. And irrelevance to someone who expected to always matter to you, that's a fate worse than anger. Now we need to talk about the timeline, because time is doing something they didn't expect. When the breakup first happened, they probably felt relief, freedom. They thought they made the right choice. But time has a way of revealing truth. Week 1, they were fine. Month 1, still okay, maybe even enjoying the single life or the new relationship. But then something shifted. Month 2, 3, 6, you're not breaking down. You're not reaching out. You're not giving them the satisfaction of seeing you hurt. And slowly, gradually, the relief turned into doubt. The confidence turned into questioning. The freedom turned into emptiness. And now, however many months later, they're living in a reality where you're thriving and they're wondering what happened. Time didn't heal them. Time exposed them. It showed them that what they thought was a smart decision was actually the biggest loss they'll carry. Time showed them that the grass isn't greener, it's just different grass. And they're realizing they burned down a garden to chase a mirage. Here's the part that's going to hurt them the most in the long run. They're going to watch you win, not just move on, but actually win at life. You're going to achieve things, build things, become things. And they're going to see it all from the sidelines like a spectator who used to be a player. They're going to watch you fall in love again, but this time with someone who actually deserves you. Someone who sees your worth without needing to lose you first. Someone who matches your energy instead of draining it.